Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is J.V. Venable, and it is my pleasure to welcome you to the 2021 Mercy Medical Angels Annual Gala. We didn't have our event last year, and so it's been 2 years of excitement and anticipation that have led us up to this evening. And as you can imagine, we're tickled pink to be able to gather live here in Tyson's Corner. We're sorry you couldn't join us here in the ballroom, but we'll welcome you on board shortly. And as you step in, I hope you feel the same level of excitement that we've got. We've got retired Army personnel, retired Navy and Marines in the audience. And then, of course, we've got your United States Air Force, the best of all of the services that are here. And you'll feel a little bit of a competitive edge in the room. I mean, the other services are going to try to outbid us or going to try to outraise us, but it's just not going to happen. But with that, we hope you catch that competitive spirit. Tonight's target is Angel Wings for Veterans. We move veterans from their homes to where they need to get medical care. And we do that as often as we possibly can with the funding that we have available. We're hoping to up that ante in 2022 and be able to move more of those who need us most. And we're hoping that you will open your wallets tonight and maybe feel a little bit of a competitive edge on your side as you donate generously. We're going to open the electronic doors here shortly. And when we do, we hope you enjoy this evening as much as we are here in Tyson's Corner. With that, we'll see you shortly.
Freedom's call is demanding. It comes too often and asks much. At times, it demands all. One way we consider that call and the sacrifice of those who have answered is through the setting of the Missing Man table. This table, while often used to remember our POWs and MIAs, also pays homage to all who did not return. We remember our fallen this way today. The table is round to show our everlasting concern. The cloth is white, symbolizing the purity of their motives while answering the call. The single red rose represents the blood that was shed and the lives lost in that service. It also represents the family and friends who keep the faith. A yellow ribbon for the yellow ribbons worn by those who remember and never forget. A slice of lemon on the plate reminds us of the bitterness of our loss. A portion of salt, a reminder of the tears shed. A lighted candle reflects our ongoing hope. An inverted glass. We can no longer share a toast. The chair is empty. Our companions are no longer present.
We know in our hearts we appreciate what they do. We wish to say thank you. Some days, when we see a soldier walk past, we even muster up the sense to say the words, "Thank you for your service." They've left their families, faced the unknown, ran in harm's way. Many sacrificed life and limb and health and mental health. And that is where our story begins. They have given so much. Now it's your chance to say, thank you for your service. We are Angel Wings for Veterans. We provide our heroes who need medical assistance free transportation to critical medical treatment and clinical care for veterans of any age, active duty service members, and their families. Since 1997, Angel Wings for Veterans has been removing the barrier to medical care, providing free transportation on the ground with gas cards, bus and train tickets, and in the air with trips flown by volunteer pilots and commercial airlines.
More than 70,000 free trips for our nation's heroes. More than 34 million miles.
The men and women who serve our country often return from the battlefield having suffered injuries. Now is our chance to serve them. These veterans may need to travel to distant, specialized medical and clinical care. Some of the most critical missions are for acute care, literally saving veterans' lives. Some missions to treat physical injury or trauma, like post-traumatic stress, PTS, or traumatic brain injury, TBI. Sometimes it's for the comfort and care of a service dog, finding the right match and for training. Even to help veterans deal with post-battlefield stress by finding peace in nature or discovering new strength and confidence on horseback. Angel Wings for Veterans gets them there. The missions are vital and varied, life-changing, life-saving. There is healing and hope for all, thanks to Angel Wings for Veterans.
Good evening and welcome. I'm Admiral Jim Godwin, President and CEO of Mercy Medical Angels. I'm so grateful that you've chosen to join us this evening, whether live or virtually as we stream. This is a great opportunity for us to be able to celebrate the accomplishments of our organization, but most importantly, to give back to our veterans through our contributions. I think JV Venable, our MC, has got a tremendous evening planned for us to excite and entertain us. There may be some rivalries amongst services during the session, so join those and celebrate the camaraderie. We're so grateful for your support. We look forward to the opportunities ahead. I hope you enjoy this evening.
for my last tour.
There's probably a lot of people don't know what that means. Go ahead and keep eating. I appreciate that we need to keep on schedule to a degree as well because we've got a lot ahead of us. I have to tell you that since I've moved into this job in April, there's an individual that I have become very good friends with in short order. When people don't understand what happens on the golf course, regardless of how well you play, Rob McCartney has done great stuff with us and represents the Barry Robinson Center. And I don't know if many of you, does anybody know beside, none of the guys from Barry Robinson can answer? How many people know what the Barry Robinson Center is? Okay, so it's a very special place, and I'm going to talk about that for a second. But what we're going to do is we're going to make a first-time award tonight, our inaugural event, and this is the Over and Above Award. And so this is because of the organization that Rob runs, the things that they have done at Barry Robinson, the friendship that we've had, the relationship that we've got between the two organizations. And one of the things that we see on TV a lot is suicide with our veterans. One of the things that you don't see a lot of is what's happening to the kids of parents that are in the service. And that's the space that Rob McCartney lives in. I'm going to read this because I won't get this right if I don't. At the Barry Robinson Center, which calls itself a behavioral health system for youth, all of their residential treatment, therapies, and activities are designed to meet each individual child's needs and to help him or her be ready for discharge back home. Their dedicated team of professionals work together to provide the resident children with a nurturing, supportive environment to help them reach their treatment goals. I've personally seen this. I've toured the facility. I've engaged with the staff and with the kids on campus. And we've had a lot of discussion about what they have done. And I even heard Rob talk about it this evening with other people as well to give an idea. this is an amazing thing to see a young person come into this place and go out mostly whole again because they let them there. So Rob, would you come up?
Well, thank you very much. They told me to keep it under 45 minutes. So as Jib said, I'm Rob McCartney, the CEO of the Barry Robinson Center. And as you probably heard, the center is unique. We're a nonprofit residential treatment center that works with children and adolescents with severe psychiatric disorders. Interpret suicidal ideation, self-injurious behaviors, a lot of executive functioning issue, difficulty at school and at home. And what makes us unique in this space is that all of our kids are military connected. All of our kids' parents are either serving or have served with that. There's not another program like us in the United States. And over the last, since 2013, we have provided services and care to over 1,000 families. So the relationship we have with Mercy Medical started off when I had the opportunity to meet this guy with a mustache and a bow tie. And I told Rob that we were having challenges with getting our families from home to the center. This last year, for example, we've served kids from 36 different countries, 36 different states and 6 different countries. And Rob said, we can fix that for you. And they did. They took away the challenges that families may have with logistics, with flying. And if you're in the situation where a child is hurting, you don't want to have to worry about how you can get to treatment. So a little bit about Rob. Last January, I was on the golf course, and I get a phone call from Keith. And I ignored it because I'm on the golf course. The phone call again, I'm going, all right, I got to call Keith back. And the third time, I said, I need to answer this. And Keith shared with me that Rob had passed. Rob and I had become extremely close, lived in the same community, enjoyed the same food, we enjoyed sailing. And so I had lost a friend, I also lost his partner. So we start to move forward, and Keith calls me and says, I want you to meet our new CEO. I'm on the golf course when he called me then, too, to say I want to meet Jib. So they bring Jib out, and Jib tours the center. And so we start to plan to meet, and so for the next 3 meetings we met on the golf course. So the key on this is I think I need to buy some golf clubs and learn how to play the game. I want to share with you a story that sort of symbolizes the work that we do at the center. Several years ago, we had an admission of a 14-year-old girl who had come to us after 3 serious suicide attempts. The third one almost took her life. And if I can have you sort of picture this girl coming in, she's obese, head down, hair coming this way. Her mom struggles with mental health issues. She has a brother that has disability. She has a dad that's active duty. And she's in 8th grade. And she had literally, now this is going to get a little emotional. My staff are going, get the Kleenex, Rob. She had literally been stoned by her peers at school. The bullying that many of our military kids face is significant. She saw no reason to live. So she comes to us. We have a phenomenal treatment program. We have good therapists, but we also have a really good music program. And the one thing that this child had going for her was her time in the band. She played the trumpet. So we said, okay, we know how to go after her. So with our music therapist, we did some work with her. And so we moved forward 4 months. And one of the things we do at the center about a monthly basis, we have our prayer services. And at our prayer services, they're a big event. All the staff come, all the kids come. So we have about 140 people there. We have a scout program, so the Boy Scouts come and present the colors, and they figure out how to raise their hand and say the pledge. We have a choir called the Voices of Pride that sings. We have a guitar ensemble. Well, on this day, it was decided that she was going to do a solo with her trumpet. All right? So now you picture a girl that's waiting while the choir is singing. And she's standing at attention, right? And when it comes time to her, she snaps the trumpet up. And if those of you guys know much about music and playing stuff, it's really easy to come underneath it and be flat. She came down on it, good breath, and she hit every note. She nailed it. So what I didn't tell you is sitting next to me is her father. And I looked at him and he looked at me, and I'm not sure who had more tears in the eyes. And he grabbed my hand and he said, "Thank you." 2 months later, she was discharged. I stayed in contact with him for about a couple years. And then due to several PCSing, we lost touch. But it's being able to provide care like that and making a difference in this child's life, making a difference in the family's life, that our partnership with Veteran Wings for Angels, military medical, air, they ensure that kids and families can get to us. And for that, I just say thanks. And give these guys a round of applause for doing that. I also want to take this moment, too, to thank my staff and the folks at the Barry Robinson Center, those who are here and those who are virtually joining us. Without the great team, we would not be successful. So again, thank you today, and really support this organization. It's great. And thank you very much. This is pretty special. Thanks.
And if you're in Virginia Beach, it looks like a college campus. It'd be worth going and seeing it, to walk around and see what they've got to offer. Angel Wings for Veterans. So this is the reason that we're here tonight, and there's a couple of people in the crowd that you probably know that are at the Army side of the business, but it's great to have a four-star that's in your midst and part of your board. David Rodriguez, don't call him that. It's called Rod, but he is the chairman of Angel Wings. His wife, Virginia, known as Jenny, is our treasurer, and the two of them have been integral to what we have done here with Angel Wings, and even Jenny being the planner for the one we did in 2019. So I'd like to invite them up to have a few words with you and thank them.
Well, thank you all for coming out tonight. Woo! Hey, this is exciting to be in person again. Last year we had to do this in virtual, and I know we're doing it tonight in virtual, but it's really good to see all of you here. And I get this incredible opportunity to have some special people stand up right now, okay? So for all you veterans out there, please stand and let us give you a round of applause. I'd like to thank you, too, for all the veterans who are also still taking care of veterans. So thank you very much for that. Now, this is going to be a great night. It already has been, as you saw, and JV's done a great job. And notice I didn't have to say anything about Air Force, Navy, Marines, or Army. It's all veterans. God bless you all. But this organization was meant to get transportation to medical care. And as you can see what Rob McCartney talked about, that's what this organization does. And there's about 8 big needs of veterans when they leave their service and everything, and this takes care of about 7 of them and supports 7 of them. The only one it doesn't help is really about training for a future job, but it gets you into shape that you can train for a job. So maybe all 8 of them, but this organization is built. It was built down there in Virginia Beach to start with and everything, and it's actually a small organization and everything. But they answer phones, they answer emails, and when a veteran calls in, or an active duty person, or a family member, as Rob talked about, they figure out how to get them to the place that they need help. And they don't quit until they do. Now, we don't get everybody because we don't quite have the resources to do that, but we're going to someday, okay? And I'm very proud to be a part of this organization, and I don't know anything about money, but my wife does. But all I'll tell you is they use all the money to get people to medical care. They're not a bunch of overhead or anything like that. And then the last group I get to recognize, and there are not too many of them here tonight, but our volunteer pilots. Could any volunteer pilots stand up? I know we got a few of them here. There you go. Now, some people thought they were surrendering over that table because of those white things, but I know that's not true. All right, but they have an incredible crew of volunteer pilots, and you represent all of them today. David, thank you very much. And
Lisa, thank you. Lisa. And
Lisa, sorry. Thank you very much. But look, the pilots, they do everything. From the flight planning, they take care of all the resourcing to do it, and they have as good an experience as anybody does taking care of them. So thank you for all the pilots who really make this possible. Ginny.
Okay, I'm going to look at my notes because he's used to talking off the cuff, but I'm not as good. But I'm just going to say they're going to be sorry for giving me an opportunity to speak because I have such a grateful heart. So I do have to take a moment to thank so many people. We have so many family and friends that every year come out and support us. I have 9 siblings, and 8 of them have supported us every year. I just have to say to my siblings, this is what family is. And this is a family. This is an extended family. And friends and family, without friends and family, I don't know what we'd ever accomplish. So my personal thanks to my family. My sister and her husband are here. Stand up, Ann and Dave McSween. I'm coaching Dave to be the next treasurer for the organization because he's way more competent than me. So there's better skills coming down the line than I have. I also want to say a personal thanks to Jody Daniels, General Jody Daniels, and her husband John, because I will say this, Jody does an amazing job. When we were in Germany, John was one of my greatest volunteers. No matter what I needed to do for families, John was there. John and Jody, stand up. Thank you so much. John also served 20-something years in the Army, so I just want to say, when someone like that steps up to be your volunteer, you know that's quality right there, and such a dear friend. So I could go on and on because the room is filled with them. Tom and Carol Barbieri do not want to be recognized, but how do you not thank a couple who lost their son in combat and then go to Walter Reed and console wounded service members, their families, and then bring them into their home whenever, wherever, and feed them and just surround them with a lot of love. And we can't find people like this. But Tom and Carol have been such a blessing to so many families in the military. I know you'll kill me, but that's okay. I love you dearly. Please stand up so we can say thank you so much. I'm just going to say she's not going to speak to me for like 3 weeks, but I'll take it. Their son was a Silver Star winner and also a volunteer firefighter in Maryland. And after he died, their younger son asked if he could go into the 82nd to honor his brother. And how you live through that as a parent, I can tell you, is so hard. So my heart is with these people, and if you don't take the time to thank them, I don't know what we're doing here. So I'm sorry, so indulge me. So a couple of our other people I really do want to say a special thank you to, since you gave me the chance, which you shouldn't have done. I want to reach out to General Pat Donahue, because he works for Lockheed Martin. I called him up the first year I did the gala. I was like, who do we know? Okay, Pat, please get Lockheed Martin to support us. So every year, Pat Donahue stands up, and before we even ask him, he donates from Lockheed Martin. Thank you, Pat. Stand up. Stand up. Stand up, Pat. Thank you, Pat. And then the Schlossers were our next door neighbor at Fort Campbell, and Jeff Schlosser runs Bell Flight. And the first year and every year, he has donated, for Bell Flight to donate to either anybody that wants to come. So thank you so much, Jeff and Patty Schlosser, for what you do for us. Thank you. They have a table here too. Thank you, Bell Flight. And then the McChrystals, our dear friends, every year they have supported with the table, and they say, oh, please just get some soldiers or veterans to come. So thank you, Stan and Annie McChrystal, for supporting us. Some other dear friends, they're not here tonight because of COVID, but Buddy and Brenda Buckner, they own the Service Distributing Company, and every year they come out and support us. They are the most amazing supporters of veterans. When I used to go to Walter Reed, they would buy like 100 MP3 players and ask me to donate them to soldiers that are inpatient at Walter Reed. And here's a bunch of CDs for them, and buy them some CDs. And this is what our civilian friends and neighbors do when they don't know what else to do. So thank you to the Buckner family. We love you dearly. Okay, Ginza, this is a special group, and the Trasks are here tonight. Tom and Karen are here with Ginza, and General Trask and his wife, most amazing people. They went on the trip to Israel with us, thanks to Ginza, who really reaches out to help the Israeli people understand the American Army, and we also learn lessons from the Israeli Army. And thank you guys for being here. We love you. Thank you, Karen and Tom. So we already talked about the Barry Robinson Center, but if I don't just say that the Barry Robinson Center is just, I don't know, where do you find people that reach out to military children who suffer the invisible wounds of war that their parents are enduring and the fallout of that, and where do we send kids? And I know personal people that have benefited from this, and I know personal people involved in this, and thank you so much to the Barry Robinson Center. Thank you, Rob McCartney, Lisa, your whole group. Thank you so much for everything you do for our kids. Okay, so we also have the Buckeye Group, who donates out of New York City, GE Aviation, who every single year donates. Thank you so much, I think Jack Catton brought you guys in, right, Jack? Thank you, Jack Catton, General Catton. Thank you so much, Jack. Okay, before the whole night's over, I do want to say a special thanks to the staff because I did host this a couple years. I will tell you, I lost a lot of sleep hosting something like this. And this year I said, I'm going to take a knee. We had my father-in-law living with us and 3 new grandchildren. And so I said, I'm going to turn this over to JV. And he's so much better at it. So I say, you're in, baby, you're in. I mean, you can't do better than you, right? And so a special thanks to Deborah and Keith. I cannot tell you the number of hours that these people put in. Every day they're tracking, let's get new sponsors. How do we reach out to people? Deborah and Keith are the backbone of how this organization raises money. And I can tell you, they have taken it, in the few years that we've been associated, they have taken it from, I don't know how to describe this, but they have just blown it out of the water. And I will tell you, it's a joint effort. It's not Deborah without Keith, it's not Keith without Deborah. I don't know what we do without Deborah and Keith. So thank you from the bottom of our hearts, Deborah and Keith, for your amazing gift. Thank you so much. You're just a blessing. The last group I want to thank, besides all of you that are in the room, is the board. Because without the board, I don't know, the board is just so special. I really have to say a special thank you to David Linton for stepping up, and it was just a tough year losing Rob. Rob's the reason I came into this organization, and Rob had the passion that I don't know. Stephanie was, I don't know, Stephanie, stand up, because you are now the new Rob, because we couldn't survive without you, Stephanie. Can't go far with Stephanie without finding David. David, thank you. You are a blessing to us. We love you, David. So then the other David Linton came along with his lovely wife, Lisa. This is what they brought to us, their stories. They go on these amazing trips and they carry soldiers, they carry children with cancer, they do these volunteer flights, and they come back and they tell our story, and that invigorates us to decide that this is something we all need to care about. And so thank you so much, both of you. Stand up. We love you. Thank you. There's so many board members, but I'm going to call out a few. You already met Kelly Murphy. Stand up, Kelly. She is a rock star. She does women in aviation. She runs the golf outing in honor of her dad, J.J. Quinn, who was a volunteer pilot who died tragically. But Kelly remembers him in so much honor and memory. And Kelly, thank you for what your family has brought to this organization. We couldn't survive without you. Thank you, Kelly. Indulge me one more. Joyce, please stand up. Joyce. Sorry, after this I won't ever have to do this again. Joyce is amazing. Her husband was a volunteer pilot who tragically died in a mid-air collision, and she wanted to be a part of this organization, so she serves as our secretary. You couldn't find a better one. We couldn't have asked for better, but the love and the joy and the expertise she brings is fabulous. Thank you, Joyce. And I'm not going to talk about JV because you already see how fabulous he is. And I don't know what we would do without a special MC. So I'm going to turn it back to Rod, who's going to introduce our guest speaker. So I just want to say thank you for indulging me to recognize these people that there's so many board members that bring so much. And it's a volunteer board. Nobody's paid. They just come because they care and they just want to bring this organization to a better place. And so again, I just want to say thank you for your support and for all you do for our organization. And I'll turn it back to Rod, and he will be brief.
All right, tonight it's my pleasure to introduce our special guest speaker, Ms. Tammy Bartlett, the Deputy Director of National Legislative Service, the Veterans of Foreign Wars of the United States, or better known as the VFW. And she is a tireless advocate for our veterans, their health care, suicide prevention, and mental health of our women veterans. Welcome, Tammy, and thank you for being with us tonight.
Thank you, General and Mrs. Rodriguez. I stepped off the police-escorted bus at North Carolina University. The multitude of volunteers clapping and cheering as I walked up that hot sidewalk to the gym. The clanging of metal, the smell of chalk filled the room as I looked for a group of individuals wearing shirts just like mine. There, I turned to a woman sitting at a folding table behind a stack of papers. "What's your weight?" she said. I stared at her like a deer in the headlights, and I said, "My starting weight?" "Yeah, your starting weight. You're here for the powerlifting competition, right?" "Well, I don't know, and this is my first time here." She looked me up and down and stated, "Well, let's start you at 50 pounds. She then leaned back in her folding chair and said, "Hey, Mike, we got a newbie." In the next few minutes, I received quick instructions from Mike on how to bar count, what to wait for with the judges, and how to figure out my next weight. I leave that day benching 85 pounds and winning the Silver Southwest Regional Valor Games medal. The following year, I attended the same event and took home a gold, lifting over 105 pounds. After the second time, I was hooked, and I needed to find a Paralympic coach in the DC area. So I rang up Mike, and he gave me a name. Meeting LJ Bazito for the first time was a little intimidating. Among her many achievements, she won a gold at her first World Powerlifting Championship in 1990 in Paris, and has been inducted into the U.S. Powerlifting Women's Hall of Fame. She still competes while coaching others, who includes active duty military who are at Walter Reed and the Marines who participate in the Warrior Games. LJ not only taught me and continues to teach me positioning, strength and cardio training, but she also taught me to believe in myself beyond my disability. At my first powerlifting competition with LJ coaching, from the sidelines, I benched 138 pounds, squatted 133 pounds, and deadlifted 204 pounds. Adaptive sports adds value, passion, and drive to a person's life. Most of all, they begin to understand and discover that they're capable way beyond their disabilities. Mercy Medical Angels breaks that barrier of transportation needs to ensure that every veteran who wants to can participate in adaptive activities. For a veteran like myself, who loves to be around the water, a veteran retreat to a canoeing in the Everglades was the opportunity of a lifetime. In the corner of an airport close to the baggage claim, I stood in a circle with my checked bags of my supplies for the week and 7 weary strangers. With small introductions, we soon find out that 7 of 8 of us were veterans, and one of them was our guide. So we piled our luggage into the van as we went along, and the baggage that we had packed in our luggage and our hearts went down the road. Once we arrived at that Shelley Beach at Sunset Island, our guides took over and gave us some instructions for the following week. But before we could pack the canoes, we had to unpack our bags. Once you account for water, food, shelter, emergency gear, there's little left for personal items. 2 sets of clothes, enough dry socks and underwear for the week, a toiletry kit, no cell phone, no books, no journal. We were given a booklet with writing prompts and a pen. All unnecessary items went back into the van, and we were unplugged for the remainder of the trip. As we shoved off the shoreline, I inhaled that deep, salty air and just let my shoulders drop. Even though canoeing was first time for me, my stress, pain, depression, and trauma slipped away for the next few days, giving me that gift of being able to focus on myself and my 7 new friends. Retreats such as mine are ways veterans can connect with their comrades in arms and experience a place and time specifically devoted to them. Retreats may be local or across the country and may allow for connection to nature or just others who have gone through similar experiences. Mercy Medical Angel provides travel for veterans to attend retreats to help lay the foundation for their healing. In 2003, after being medically discharged from 8 years of service in the Coast Guard, I moved back to my hometown in rural Pennsylvania with physical and mental health injuries. I was aware that there was a daunting process ahead of me that I needed to follow to ensure I received my compensation for my service-connected injury and enrolled in the Department of Veterans Affairs Health Administration. To begin the process of my compensation claim, I drove 75 miles one way to a VA regional office in Philadelphia through Philadelphia bumper-to-bumper traffic. Once the claim was initiated, I now needed to drive up and over the Appalachian Mountains 75 miles and pay a $5 toll one way to attend my compensation and benefit exams in Wilkes-Barre. My VA primary care was located 24 miles away, which was an average 40-minute drive if the weather was nice. But before the passage of the Veterans Access to Care Through Choice, Accountability, and Transparency Act of 2014, also known as the CHOICE Act, if I needed an MRI, a CAT scan, or appointment with a specialist, I had to drive back over the mountains, 77 miles, pay that $5 toll on my way to Wilkes-Barre. I was fortunate to have the funds to pay for the gas and tolls to get me where I needed to, but there are many veterans with tight budgets living in rural and urban areas where transportation can be the greatest barrier between them and medical care needs to live their best lives. Mercy Medical Angels helps with gas cards, bus and train tickets, and other means to break the travel barriers so that each veteran can receive their clinical care. You know, people often ask me, how can I help a veteran? What can I do? Well, Mercy Angels offers several opportunities to help. If you have the funds, donate money. If you travel often, donate your unused frequent flyer miles. If you have time, volunteer. If you're on social media, spread the word about the good works of Mercy Medical Angels. Countless veterans will thank you, and I thank you.
You gonna mic me up? All right. I'm Karen Reggie. I'm gonna be your auctioneer tonight. So I'm just gonna get up there. I'm gonna get a little organized, and we're gonna start this party. You ready? Is everybody ready? All right. So, I don't know about you guys, but, it's been a while since we've done some auctions, right? 2 years ago, right around 2 years ago, I was here. Many of you were here. So what we're going to do is I want to make sure that you know where your bid paddle is. Do you have your bid paddle? It's the back of the program. It's black. It's really clear. Rise it up. Okay, listen. We're going to do a little practice round, okay? I've got this $100 bill, okay? I'm going to auction off my own $100 bill. We're going to start the bidding at $20. Who's going to bid $20? I got $20. How about 40? 40. Who's got 40? 60, 80, 100, 120. Anybody? 120. There it is back there. How about 140? I got 140. How about 160? I got 140 over here. How about 160? 160. Thank you very much. 180. How about 200? There's 200. How about 220? I got 200. Who's going to bid 220? Got 200 going once, going twice, sold. Bidder 205. All right. So this is how it goes. This is how you bid in a charity auction, right? You get $100 and you pay $200 for it, okay? That's how it goes, right? Remember? Remember how this goes? Okay, I'm going to give you this $100 bill, okay? 205, they're going to record that. Thank you so much. All right, so this is how it works. We've practiced. Everybody's got their bid paddle. And we're going to start bidding on the first auction item. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about it, and there's going to be a slide that's going to tell you some things about it as well. All right. Okay, remember, she bid $200 for a $100 bill. That's how this thing goes. This is Angel Wings for Veterans, right? This is why we're here. So the first item tonight is a day of golf for 4 at one of the nation's most exclusive country clubs. This is Cave Valley Golf Club in Owings Mill, Maryland. The FedEx Cup was just played 3 or 4 weeks ago. It is in pristine condition. It is amazing. You need to be there. Golfer, non-golfer, doesn't matter. It's where you need to be. And basically, the package includes a round of golf for you and 3 of your friends, 4 random people, doesn't matter. You're going to get a gift card for $480 for 4 caddy fees, your choice of breakfast or lunch. Now, the round has to be played by November 7th. It can only be played on a Sunday, but it needs to happen now because the golf course is pristine. It's perfect. The best golfers in the world were just there. And if you go, you'll probably be the best golfer in the world, right? Because they were there. Some of that's going to rub off. Okay, so that's the promise. You're going to be the best golfer in the world if you win this item. So we're going to start the bidding at $600. Who's going to bid $600? All you got to do, you got to raise that paddle up there, $600. How about $800? Who's going to bid $800? I got $600. Anybody? $800. I got $600. $700? Anybody going to bid? I got $700. Okay, in the back. How about you for $800? Will you bid $800? I got $700. There's $800. How about $900? Will you bid $900? I got $800 right here. Who's going to bid $900? I got $800. You're going to be the best golfer in the world. Right? Who doesn't want to be the best golfer in the world? I got $800. $900. Anyone? Going what? Oh, there it is. $900. Thank you very much. Who's going to bid $1,000? I got $900. Who's going to bid $1,000? I got $900 right here. This young man's going to be the best golfer in the world, and the rest of you are toast, right? $900. Going once. There it is. $1,000 is what you bid. Who's going to bid $1,100? Who's going to bid $1,100? I got $1,000. Who's going to bid $1,100? I got $1,000. Going once. Going twice. Sold for $1,000. Thank you very much. All right, look, that wasn't that hard, was it? He's going to be the best golfer in the world. I don't know what's going to happen to you. It'll be all right. But thank you for bringing that price up because, look, this is for Angel Wings for veterans, okay? So, all right. I'm already tired. I'm just going to take a little drink of water. Yeah. No, it's water. All right, the second item tonight is 2 tickets to upcoming Broadway production, Hugh Jackman. Hugh Jackman, sorry. Whoa, what happened? Hugh Jackman. I wonder if, no, it's water. I swear to God, it's water. Hugh Jackman in The Music Man, an amazing Broadway production. You're going to stay for 2 nights at in Times Square at a hotel in New York City. The show is going to be the hit of the season, and it's only going to be there for a limited run, so the tickets must be used between February and July of 2022. Okay, it's been a long time since you've been to Broadway. This is your opportunity. Two birds with one stone. You're going to get Broadway, Times Square, and you're also going to be giving to this amazing organization. So who's going to start the bidding at $1,000? I got $1,000. How about $1,500? I got 15. Nope. I got 1,000 over here. Anybody? 1,500. There it is. 1,500. How about 2,000? Who's going to bid 2,000? There's 2,000. How about 2,500? I've got 2,000 over here. Who's going to bid 2,500? $2,500 I'm looking for. I got $2,000. All right, I didn't want to. Yeah, there you go. See, she's looking for somebody to bid against her. She's got $2,000 bid. Who's going to bid $2,500? Hugh Jackman. Who's going to bid $2,500? Okay, this is the deal. We got to sell this. We got to get up to $3,000. Okay? This is going to be an amazing show, but we need to get to $3,000 because this is a commissioned item. We're at $2,000. Is anybody going to bid more than $2,000? Going once? There it is, $2,500. Who's going to bid $3,000? Who's going to bid $3,000? She's at $2,500. We need a $3,000 bid right here, right now. There it is, $3,000. All right, $3,000. Bidder 205. Anybody else? We got $3,000. Anybody else wants to bid on this package? Going once, going twice. Sold for $3,000. Thank you very much. Yeah, she's also the one that paid $200 for a $100 bill, okay? So I got my eye on you. All right. Item 3. Okay, this is another golf package for all you golfers. It's a great stay and play package. This is unlimited golf for 4. Okay, now you guys are all young men and young women, been in the military, many of you. You could probably play like 72 or 80 holes in 2 days, right? You'd get a lot of really good benefit from this. Basically, it's for 4 people. You're gonna stay overnight at a 4-star King Suite. There's like 5 different clubs, 5 different golf courses that you can pick from for this. This is an amazing package. There's Valley Hack in Roanoke, Virginia, pretty close by. There's Hidden Creek Golf Club at Egg Harbor Township, New Jersey. Briggs Ranch in San Antonio, Texas. Victoria National at Newburgh, Indiana. And Arbor Links in Nebraska City, Nebraska. These are all championship courses. You are going to feel young again because you're going to play so much golf. You're going to get your sticks out, and you are just going to, it's going to be rejuvenated. I would say you're probably going to lose like 10 years by just 2 days playing golf, doing nothing but playing golf with your buddies or your friends or whoever. So let's start this bidding at $1,000. Who's going to bid $1,000 for this great golf package? 4 people, unlimited golf. There it is, $172, $1,000. Who's going to bid $1,500? I got $1,000. Who's going to be $1,500? I got $1,000 over here. Who's going to bid $1,500? This is worth like $3,400. Okay, so remember that $100 bill that I did? Let's get on with this. I got $1,000. There's $1,500. Okay, how about $2,000? Who's going to bid $2,000? I got $1,500 up here on the front. Who's going to bid $2,000? Going once. There it is. $2,500. I got $2,000. Who's going to bid $2,500? I got $2,000. Who's going to bid $2,500? Anybody? Going once. Going twice. Sold for $2,000. Thank you very much. That's a heck of a deal. You are going to have a good time. All right, the final item tonight is a 6-day, 5-night stay for 4 guests at the luxurious iconic resort and grand spa just outside of Arezzo in Tuscany, Italy. The trip includes train fare between Rome and Arezzo, local transportation, all your meals at a gourmet restaurant, and the trip must be taken between January 15th and February 15th and does not include airfare to Italy. So we're going to see a little short video about this amazing resort because I cannot do it justice in terms of telling you about it. So stay tuned to the screens here and we'll see this video. All right. Well, gosh, if 2 days of golf can take 10 years off your life, imagine what can happen if you go to the iconic resort and grand spa in Tuscany, Italy. Imagine that. And this is the thing. We haven't been able to travel. This is something that you need to do. It might be a gift, a Christmas gift. It may be just a gift for yourself. This is for 4 people. It's an amazing package. It includes this world-class restaurant, the spa, the tennis court, olive and lemon groves, and it even includes a limoncello tasting. Now, how can you beat that? All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to start the bidding at $2,000. Who's going to bid $2,000? I got $2,000. Who's going to bid $2,500? I got $2,000 over here. Who's going to bid $2,500? I got $2,500. Who's going to bid $3,000? I got $2,500 over here. There's $3,000. How about $3,500? There's $3,500. How about $4,000? I got $3,500 over here. How about $4,000? He's turning away from me. You gonna go? No, I got $3,500. Anybody else? I got $3,500. Going once. This is a heck of a deal. Going twice. Sold $3,500. Please put your paddle up so I can put your paddle up. There you go. All right. Well, that was fun, wasn't it? I would like to go to Italy a lot. That would be really fun, especially at this amazing resort. So you're going to have a blast with that. So anyway, this is the part of the program where you're going to bid and you're not going to get anything, which is good. And we've been practicing getting stuff, and now we're going to bid. And what we're going to do is we're going to bid for this charity that we as a community care so much about. That's what we're going to do. And I got to tell you that we've got a lot of work to do, right? We've got a number of people that benefit so much from these donations that you give tonight and for just being here tonight. And so what we want to do is we want to talk to some of these people. We want to bring up two of the we actually are going to bring up one, and then we're going to see a video of one of the other recipients that has really benefited from this. We have Commander Ryan Walsh. He's a member of the District of Columbia Air National Guard, and he previously served in the National Guard and New York and Washington states. Before joining the National Guard, he was an active duty infantry officer that served in Operation Iraqi Freedom. So can Ryan come up here, because he's going to say a few words about what this organization has meant to him.
Sure. Thank you very much for inviting me to be here tonight. I've gotten to see on the receiving end of what the charity does, but didn't actually understand the full scope until I came to this tonight. So really appreciate you for bringing me into the tent to learn about such a wonderful organization. And if you know about my desire to speak in front of public crowds and my desire to speak about some of the things that are personal to me, it says unlikely as wearing a red bow tie. But I think Rob would have wanted me here tonight. So my own experience. So a friend of mine, Gabby, mentioned that she was going to be coming to work for the organization, and I lit right up because I'm like, of course I know who they are. And it's like, how have you possibly heard from them? It's like, actually, about 15 years ago, they took care of me, and that's so funny that that's where you're going as well. And so she talked to me about coming to this, and like I said, something that topic I normally don't talk about, and especially large audiences, but for what they've done and being able to pay that back, welcome the opportunity. So with my own experience, coming back from a time overseas, grew up in the Army, so I was an infantry guy. I spent 4 years in active duty with the Stryker Brigade. Spent time in Fallujah, had some friends that were hurt pretty bad in Fallujah, but I had 10 fingers and 10 toes, so I was okay. Had a suicide bomber at a chow hole in Mosul, lost a lot of people, but I had 10 fingers and 10 toes, so I was okay. Lost a couple of my friends when I was overseas, but I came back home with 10 fingers and 10 toes, So I was okay. And coming back home, transition into civilian life. Infantry is not as transferable as a job skill as they sell. Thus why I have later joined the Air National Guard later in life, coming to the Air Force. A large period of time of unemployment coming home, a lot of transition, ended up really getting passionate about a lot of veterans issues, and went to work as a policy guy in Veterans Affairs and changed of political parties, and ended up losing that job as well. Became a guard bum, and those orders expired more often than I got on them, so a lot of time in between jobs. But again, 10 fingers, 10 toes, I was okay, and I've had friends coming home, had taken their lives coming home, and just seeing a lot of the stuff that was going on, and it finally got to the point where I had some great mentors. I had a lot of Vietnam veterans in my life. I was very, very fortunate with the number of Vietnam veterans I had. Growing up through my time as a junior ROTC, I had Vietnam veteran instructors, and I had Vietnam veterans for my cadre in college, and one mentor in particular, Sergeant Major, 30 years commissioned service, Vietnam vet, drafted into Vietnam, 30 years of service to the active duty Army, and then came over to Army ROTC. I was his first year of cadets, 23 consecutive years as an ROTC instructor, 53 years of consecutive service to the Army. And we actually had the honor of burying him in Arlington just this past month. And incredible ceremony, generations of folks that came out to see him. But having some transition issues coming home, and had that conversation with him in a way that we've never had a conversation before. But he explained to me, as a Vietnam vet, his generation fought for a lot of those benefits that my generation has, and that I was gonna, as an idiot, for not trying to pursue some of this stuff. So went out, wanted to pursue counseling, and some of the barriers, and that's what this charity does, removes barriers, right? So like I said, long time unemployment, a lot of times in between jobs, and just struggling to get there for having some of that stability. And like I said, very involved in the veterans community at home. Worked with adaptive sports, which we heard so much about earlier, and working with homeless veterans, and working with all these different veterans groups at home. And one of the challenges with that was, in trying to seek some of those services, there's a lot of people that needed it who I thought a lot more than me. So the idea of walking into a veterans treatment at home, local, seeing some of those faces, that was my barrier. And so a friend of mine had talked about a counseling program that was actually out of state. And being able to go to a place that was safe for me, where I didn't feel like I was gonna run into folks that were within my own community, opening myself up to that level of vulnerability, and also just the fact that, again, I thought other people needed it a lot more than me. So he signed me up. He actually got my information. The flights were booked. As much as I wanted to back out of it, the flights were booked. You can't back out once the flights are booked. So we got to go. It was a week-long program, had an amazing experience with it, and then more importantly, when we came back home, we actually opened up a local chapter of the charity that had sponsored us to go out there, and it's been going for 15 years. It's still an online community. We've got about 200 members back home in New York that is still active with the chapter that we created based on our experience going out there. So it really is not just myself going out there, but be able to pay back to that organization that we've been able to keep it going for 15 years. But it's something that we would never have done if not only the financial barrier of being able to have the flights that were paid for us to be able to attend the Veterans Workshop, but also the fact that it was something that was outside of my own community, because I would never have sought those services myself within my own community. So very grateful for the organization, what it did for me, and the friendships that I made for going to the event itself for that week, and the people that we have stayed in touch, and we have been supportive of each other for over 15 years. None of that would have happened without this organization and what you guys have done. And again, I just want to thank you so much for inviting me in the tent tonight to learn about all the things you do. Very, very impressed, and I would encourage everybody to be generous tonight. And you had me following Karen, which is one of the hardest things to do coming up here, but I will pass it off, because we've got someone else who's going to be speaking after me. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And this shows you really, how much these services mean. So what we're going to do now is we're going to see a short video of another veteran that has been helped by this organization.
When those explosions came through, just the force of the percussion wave that came through really rattled me. Once the mission was over, we headed back to our FOB, our forward operating base, and days later I started developing these migraines. And they just got stronger and stronger, and there was nothing I could do to relieve these migraines. I felt like I was in a world that I didn't belong in. There were all types of triggers that would just set me off and cause a panic attack and get me uneasy. I turned to isolation and self-medicating. I had a breakdown one night, and I went upstairs, I grabbed a pistol, went in the bathroom, and I was just, yelling, screaming, and just having a huge breakdown. And my wife came upstairs, and I had the gun to my head, and I was, at those last seconds of my life, what I had considered to be the end, and she grabbed the gun from me and got me some help. My life has did a complete 180-degree turnaround. I now can go out in public without fear. There's no doubt in my mind today that I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you because I was at that point in my life where, dying was an option and not living anymore was, it seemed great to me. She's a natural medication. That bond we have when she looks into my eyes and I look into hers, through that affection, both of us get something out of it.
Yeah, so this is what it's about, right? It's about Ryan and Brock and the thousands of others that you'll help with this auction that we're about to do. So the way that this works is that I'm gonna say a number, and you're gonna raise your bid paddle. And what that means is that you're actually gonna get charged your credit card. Something's gonna happen there. You're gonna pay that amount as a charity donation for this amazing organization. It's not that hard though, because the credit card's already there, and there's not gonna be any lines or anything like that. I'm gonna say your number, and they're gonna jot it down, and then everything's gonna be fine, okay? So, bid high, bid often. Look, we're gonna start the bidding. We're gonna start the bidding at $5,000, and I wanna tell you that the people who are looking at this live on YouTube, a lot of those people have stepped up already, and we have a little competition. I don't know if they're Army or Navy, or I have no idea. But whatever they are, we're gonna do a little competition. So we have already a $5,000 donation from Elaine and Marianne LeShoe, and we have a $5,000 donation from Captain Ralph and Bobby Crafts, United States Marine Corps retired, okay? So we already have that from our YouTube watchers at home, all right? And we're in this room, and we've had a few cocktails. Not me, I'm drinking water, okay? And I'm looking for a $5,000 bid for Angel Wings for Veterans. Right now, from the bottom of your heart to your credit card, through that bid paddle, okay, with the black numbers, I'm looking for somebody to raise their hand. I'm looking for somebody to raise their hand for a $5,000 donation. Do we have any $5,000 donations in this room? People are going to Italy, you're spending time in the golf course. $5,000, is there anybody in the room? There it is, 1, 2, 5, thank you very much. I knew I'd get somebody. You got a $5,000. We need one more $5,000 donation from this room to meet the people who are at home that didn't come, that couldn't come. Is there anybody else, $5,000 donation level, anybody else in this room that can give to this amazing organization and help people like Brock and Ryan? There it is, 179. Thank you very much, 179. Let's give these two bidders a huge round of applause. We tied the people at home. We're looking for one more at 5,000. Is there anybody else? Anybody else want to bid $5,000 right now? It's easy. The credit card, it just happens. It's okay. Anybody? $5,000? All right, let's move on. We've got a $3,500 donation from Tito's Vodka. Okay? And we want to see if we can match that $3,500 donation from Tito's Vodka. Is anybody willing to part with $3,500? I mean, that's a lot different than $5,000, right? $3,500 comes off your credit card. You get to pay it for the rest of your life. It'll be fine. And people like Ryan and Brock, people like them can continue to get these services. Is there anybody? $3,500. All you got to do, you got to put your bid paddle up. $3,500. Anybody? There it is. 172, $3,500. Big round of applause for 172 at the $3,500 level. Is there anybody else that wants to bid $3,500? Anybody in the room? $3,500. All right. How about $2,500? We've already got, there it is, 166 at $2,500. I was going to say, we already have somebody from home at $2,500 level, and that is Mark Hebrank. Mark Hebrank. 132, 182, $2,500 level. Thank you so much. Do we have anybody else at the $2,500 level? There it is, 227. Thank you so much. We got $2,500 all over the room, but I think the back of the room needs to step up, don't you think? We got a lot in the front of the room. I could come down there. I could help you out. You're fine. You did well. I'm not gonna bother these guys. I mean, they're representing the whole back of the room. $2,500. Can anybody bid $2,500 for veterans? Transportation services for veterans. We got any more? $2,500. Last chance. $2,500. Okay, how about $1,000? A lot of people. $1,000. There's 150. 122 at the $1,000 level. 131. Thank you so much. 155. 207. 225. All at $1,000. Do we have anybody else at $1,000? Thank you so much. That is so generous. Do we have any more $1,000 bids? There it is. 243. Thank you so much. See, I think you're gonna be fine. You're gonna be the second best golfer in the United States. Okay, not in the world, but you'll be second best in the US. That's what I got for you. Thank you so much. All right, anybody else? $1,000 level. $1,000 level. It's easy. I don't have a bid paddle, but it's, it's just $1,000. All right. Let's see. How about 500? We got any 500? There's one. 143. Thank you so much. 221. We got any more at 500? 151. 129. Anybody else? The $500 level. There it is. 112. Oh, I forgot to tell you, you can bid multiple times, It doesn't hurt my feelings. It's okay. I'm happy to, I'm happy to call out the number. It's easy as pie. You do the same thing. The credit card goes, and so you can basically make up any amount that you want to give, right? That's the beauty of it. So anybody else? $500. Anybody else that's already bid? That's already given? $500. There it is. 165. Thank you very much. Big round of applause for all the people so far that have given. Let's take a breath. We're at $500. There it is, 108. Thank you so much. Anybody else? 117. Thank you. All right, let's get some more $500 bids here. This is a good number. $500 bids. Anybody else? Then we're going to move on. Anybody? I'll wait. It's okay. It's all right. You can ask your spouse, whatever. Anybody else? 500. Okay, how about 250? Who wants to bid $250? Okay, 235. Thank you so much. 250. Anybody else? 107. Thank you very much. 231. Very nice. $250. Anybody else? 163. Thank you, sir. 203. Thank you, ma'am. Anybody else? $250. I'll wait. God, it's so good to be up here. It's so good to be with you guys. All these red ties, right? I mean, you know, you might want to give a little extra because you got those red ties for free, right? I mean, somebody had to pay for those red ties. You got them for free, so keep that in mind. All right? All right, we're at $250. Anybody else? Anybody else? How about 100? Who's going to bid 100? 142. Thank you very much. 247. Anybody else? 100. $100. 129. Thank you so much. Anybody else? This is just $100, right? $100. What is that? The pair of shoes? It's less than a pair of shoes. 254. Thank you so much. Anybody else got room in their heart to give $100? This is a community. This is all of us together. Give what you can when you can. $100. Final chances. Anybody else? Going once. Going twice. Thank you so much. And thank you for Angel Wings for Veterans. You got something from the Dormy Network. Yes. All right, there's another golf package. Do I have to go back? Do we need to go back? There's golf package. This was the one where you'd take 10 years off of your life if you get this. And I don't know, the guy that was the second bidder, he was somewhere over here, but we're going to just see if there's anything left over for another golf package. This is the 5 different golf locations. These are all championship courses. It's for 4. It's an overnight. You can play 100 rounds of golf. I mean, not 100 rounds of golf. You can do 100 holes of golf if you have a lot of stamina, which, you know, military people, you're used to that, right? So there it is. It's the stay and play golf package. So we're going to start the bidding at the same place where we started before, $1,000. Is there anybody that's going to be willing to pay $1,000 for the Dormy? There it is, 166. Another $1,000. Hey, that's pretty good. How about $1,500? Anybody willing to bid $1,500? I got 1,000 over here. Anybody willing to bid $1,500? There's $1,500. How about 2,000? I've got 1,500 right here. Who's going to bid 2,000? I got 1,500. Anybody willing to bid 2,000? There it is, 2,000. How about 2,500? I got 2,000. Who's going to bid 2,500? Yeah, see that? See what happens? She wants you to play golf. There you go, 2,500. Who's going to bid 3,000? I got 2,500. Who's going to bid 3,000? I got 2,500. There it is, 3,000. How about 3,500? I got 3,000. Who's going to bid 3,500? It's okay. You can bid against her. It's fine. Everything will be fine. She wins either way. That's right. We got 3,000. Who's gonna bid 3,500? I know that. This is exactly the way this thing works out, though, right? $3,000. Anybody else? I got $3,000 going once, going twice. Sold for $3,000. That's the way to do it. Thank you so much. Thank you all for all your support of Angel Wings for Veterans. Means a lot to these people, and it's been a hoot. And I love being here, and I love being with all of you for this great cause. So thank you. Who's taking the mic? You are? Do you want the handheld or? That should work, yep.
Hello. Oh yeah. Well, I want to to give one more shout out to JV for keeping it fun tonight and for putting on a great show. So I've been asked that if I had to pick between a service, the Army, Navy, Air Force, or Marines, what would I pick as my favorite? This is a trick question, I believe. So I tried to go through, since I'm a pilot, I tried to go through what's been my relationship with the different services. Actually, my primary instructor was Army combat helicopter instructor, and he was Top Gun, first in his class, some of the finest hand flying skills I've ever seen. And I've flown for 25 years in all weather, and I got to attribute at least part of that to the fine training I got from him. So I think, ooh, boy. And then my daughter Megan recently got her pilot's license, and she trained with a Marine F-18 fighter pilot that's also a flight instructor. And he was a wonderful pilot. He's actually a running friend of mine as well. So, boy, what do I do? And then there's my fellow board member, General Jack Catton, and his wife, Jan, who are two of my very dearest friends. And Jack, as you may know, was an Air Force Fighter Weapons School instructor, Top Gun instructor, F-15 pilot, and probably the world's greatest air-to-air combat pilot. And if you don't believe me, just ask him, because he's the one that told me to say that. But then there's my wife, Lisa. She's a fellow Angel Flight pilot. Do we have the slide? And a 28-year naval aviator, Commander Lisa Linton. And she was my big inspiration to fly Angel flights in the very first place, because I found out about them in the place that she worked, and she helped convince me to do my first flight in 2016. So I bet you know what I'm going to say next. Go Navy. So let me take off my board member hat for just a moment and put on my volunteer pilot hat and talk to you a little bit about what we do. So I've been flying for about 5 years, of over 100 flights, and I continue to be overwhelmed by the gratitude, the outpouring of gratitude by the people that we fly. And there seems to be something very special that happens when a total stranger like myself offers to help someone, sometimes going through the very worst time of their life. And sometimes we have hours in the air together, and typically, and I've talked to other Angel Flight pilots, and this is the same scenario with all of them, virtually, that I've talked to. So I'm not unique in this regard at all. And I ask them about their life and how are things going? And they tell me about their life. And they tell me their story. I listen intently. And somehow, when we land, or shortly before, something happens, and they seem to be a little less afraid, a little less alone. And we all want to be known, and it's great to have someone take the time to ask us, who are you and what are you about, especially when you think your time may be very short on what's left. I don't know if that's it. I really don't know, but there seems to be a healing that occurs, and the tyranny of fear and all of that seems to go away, and they end up reassuring me that everything's going to be okay, and I'm going, what did I just hear? How can that be possible? It happens so repeatedly, I shouldn't be surprised, but I am struck with wonder how a simple airplane ride to a treatment can be so moving. and life-changing on both ends. I really can't get too much of that. So tonight, thanks to all of you, I'm very pleased to announce that we have reached and surpassed our goal and reached an all-time high for this event, and we've raised a record-setting $232,000. to provide free travel to our veterans and their families, as you've heard tonight, to get to critical care and treatment. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Now, I can't let this evening go without giving special thanks to General David and Ginny Rodriguez, Rod and Ginny, and the MMA board members, Mercy Medical Angels board members. I joined recently. You've heard from Jib Godwin, a 15-year member of the board, JV, a 10-year member of the board. I'm April, okay? And so to say I'm not even up to rookie status yet. And I was somewhat apprehensive about doing this. Jack Hatton actually was very helpful in talking me into do it, but I thought, well, what can I add from my business background and blah, 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 and how can I help? But I was apprehensive because I was concerned about, I'm on the other end of it as a pilot, and I love what I do. I really love what I do, and I truly mean I can't get enough of that. But I thought, gee whiz, am I gonna watch sausage be made and not wanna eat sausage anymore? And I can tell you, to the person, our board has what we like to term the servant's heart. They always put themselves second and put the mission of the organization first. They're volunteers, and they give an enormous amount of their time and resources to doing this. And it has been an unbelievably positive experience. And we're backed with an organization that I can say the exact same thing about. The Mercy Medical Angels staff, to the person, this is not a job to them. This is a mission. And they give tirelessly day in and day out to serve the people in need that we care for. One more time, I'd like to thank Deborah and Keith, if you would please, for putting on this event. It's an enormous, as you can imagine, it is an enormous effort to have it all come together like this and now have record-breaking statistics. I want to also thank some people that couldn't be here from the Newport News Shipbuilding. They've become great annual supporters of Mercy Medical Angels, and we thank them for their support. I want to also thank Tammy Bartlett for coming tonight and speaking and doing a very wonderful job. And those of you now, just to close, those of you that won auction items and can claim them at the checkout table, and the wonderful people from C2 Auctions will take care of you. If anyone would like to purchase the place setting on the table, it's a $20 donation. Just write your number on the card and drop it at the table on the way out as you take the centerpiece. Thank you, everyone, for coming and for supporting Angel Wings for Veterans. Good evening.
Ladies and gentlemen, I just one last announcement or request. If you're wearing a red bow tie tonight, we would love to get a memory of this. And if you're willing to shepherd yourselves over there in the corner, maybe we could get Steve, our photographer, to take a picture of us all together. I think it might lay some tracks for next year. What do you think? I'll meet you over there.